Alright, here's a tour around the cabin. That's my whole area there. My bed and my bags and stuff, so I sleep there. This one here is Peter's when we're rocking too much. Otherwise, she's in the aft cabin back here. Ta-da! There's our little cooktop and oven. It's on a nice little gimbal. So, you know, things don't fall off when we're rocking and rolling. Peter's having a good time up here. Steering. See what he's doing with that wheel? He's just purposefully rocking us back and forth. He thinks it's funny. Here's the head. Little pump handle. I'll get the little window. I'll come back down to the horizon. There we go. And then here's our nav station. And we're back. And there's the forward cabin up there. Pete's in.
The winds are pretty finicky and light right now. But we're probably making 4.5 knots, and we're kind of thinking about turning on the engine here. Just the winds are going to be pretty dead until tomorrow morning, when they should start back up again. Can't see Pete, but he's behind the helm right now. What are you making, Alma?
Pork chops.
Pork chops. Got that handy dandy gimbaling stove ready?
Sure doodly do.
Come on, wind. This should be the last light day, and then tomorrow we'll probably be praying for a calm like this again. Whale! At maybe 2 o'clock or so, going, oh, there it is again.
See that one? That was big. Tail came all the way out.
Woohoo! Oh wow.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it's going south. We're just going faster than it. Nice.
I just got up from my watch here, 6 a.m. Across the border in the night, so we're somewhere off the coast of Northern California. You can see visibility is reduced. Everything is very wet and dewy. Otherwise, we're holding between 4 and 5 knots in the water.
So it's 11:45, and I just think it's so cool, the sound inside the cabin of all the water rushing by, and the groaning you hear is the autopilot. We are here, just outside of Crescent City. Oh my God, we're coming up on Crescent City. You cannot see this on camera, but there are these tons and tons of little jellyfish, I think. Mostly small ones, but occasionally a big one, like I just saw. And they just light up for half a second and then go away. But the one thing I really noticed is that you're just all by feel. Feel the boat rocking left, right, left, right, up, down, and It's just all feel and intuition and a lot of sound. The wind, the waves, autopilot. Tells me I'm being held on course extremely well, by the way. We're all highly impressed by this autopilot. I keep hearing something that sounds like a barking over there. I don't know what it is off to port. I mean, the easy guess would be it's something with the rigging. It's making that sound. It sure sounds like a little dog barking over there. Keep in mind, we're probably 30 nautical miles away from shore. All right, I finished my night watch, and you know, it was great. It was really nice. I took some extra antioxidants through the night, and that helped to wake me up a bit. Really enjoyed it, and dressing warm enough so that I felt almost hot at the beginning was perfect. I was extremely comfortable. Not too warm, not too cold, and it was just really nice and relaxing. So it's a little past 3 a.m. and I'm just gonna go sleep. All right.
Peter's making some repairs. Yeah. Putting some rivets in the spinnaker pole end cap. So it was looking a little loose. It's been almost 3 hours and still just easy. The sun is up there, but everything's still wet. Trying to see if we can pull the jib out and get on a run, because we've just got 7 or 8 knots of tailwind, so I'm gonna try to make the most of it. We finally got the jib pulled out. Still foggy, but look at that. We're on a run. Running as fast as we can. Only doing 5.5, 6 knots, but hey, the motor's not on, so that's a bonus. Go eat some breakfast here.
So, Oma, any thoughts on the midpoint of the voyage here?
I just had some breakfast and it was delicious. And we're cruising along.
Yeah.
A good rate. Can't ask for much more.
Cool. We'll see what the fearless leader has to say today. Fearless leader, any words for your fans out there?
I mean, this is great. This is almost perfect. Doing wing on wing. It's so nice to get that, you know, get that going.
Yeah, are you happy? Are you happy, dude right now?
I'm super happy. We're making good time. Looking around Cape Mendocino probably this evening. And yeah, targeting about 30 knots off Cape Mendocino. The winds are a little on the lighter side, so hopefully it shouldn't be too dramatic, but I guess we'll see.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we're about maybe 60 knots from the coast. So we're right here. We got some wang on wang action. We are, oh, yeah, maybe like 60, 80 knots from Redding Rock. Closing in on being lateral to Trinidad Head. Almost perfect heading to clear Cape Mendocino. Okay, so let's see what happened. We started getting within, I don't know, 10, 20 miles lateral of the Cape. Swells started building. We were rattling the main a good bit, so we reefed the main. There was a sheave in the reef 2 that was a bit broken. That caused some friction, which ended up meaning that when we were trying to torque down the reef 2 line, it ended up tearing a little bit of the Pringle. So yeah, so we had to lash that down. And it was funny because Pete was just asking me when I was going to get new sails. Also, I don't know if you could see that bottom car has ripped out, and that was a separate incident. So basically we have a good amount of ripping happening on the main. Reefing becomes now a manual exercise with 2 people, 1 at the mast. So that kind of sucks. We did get the pole out, and the pole has been great. That's really been helping our progress and our steadiness and the ease of working with the jib. So, anything to add?
It's polarific, baby.
All right, best and only joke of the day so far.
Yes.
Onward. All right, it is 6 p.m. I'm just taking over watch, and we are just rounding Cape Mendocino. We are under wing and wing. Double reefed main, so we're not making the speed that I want, because to reef and unreef the main is now a big hassle. So that really sucks. Can't wait to fix all of this stuff when I get back. Or when I get there, I should say. Yeah, I think the weather pattern is towards the coast over there, and we're kind of skirting the line. Anyways, I think we're on the edge of the weather pattern. We've been kind of riding that, just doing 5.5 to 6 knots. So pretty calm. We're supposed to have a gale tonight, and then almost dead calm tomorrow. So. You can see right there we are at the red boat, and just in front of us to our left, you see the green AIS triangle. And it said it was something about a NOAA information or a buoy or something like that. So we're gonna have to rely on radar to avoid this. I don't know if you could see that just now, but the wave was right by the coaming and higher than it. It's pretty crazy. You just can't do justice to what it looks like out here through the phone video. All right, I'm sure you guys cannot see anything. Yeah, so Almo is just bombing down this course. Pretty excited. We're really going for it. That's what I told the guys to do last night. Now that we've passed Cape Mendocino, like, pretty much Bodega is the only real good bailout point, and Bodega is like 90% of the way to our destination, so we might as well really go for it. And we're fucking going for it, man. We're making it happen. We're right here. San Francisco's right there. So we're getting there. I told the guys none of this pansy ass running away from the storm, running away from Cape Mendocino gales by heading out to sea, and we might as well just go for it, because we should be able to handle whatever comes at us with a double reef and a small or no head sail. And that's what we did. We made a really good time. And the boat has handled the swell and the breaking swell really well. It's now our second day without having run the engine. I mean, we did run it just briefly because Pete was concerned when he wanted to tie down the mainsail, second reef point there. Yeah, I turned off the freezer, which that's probably about 40% of your power draw, along with the fridge being another 40, maybe even 45%. I mean, it's a massive, massive power draw. They're both probably on an 80% duty cycle at 6 amps. So yeah, getting those off really extended our battery a lot. It's nice to go an entire day without an engine. I really want an Egg McMuffin. All right, just getting up. Yeah, 3 a.m. shift. We got a strong weather system moving in Saturday, and right now it is, what, Thursday. So we want to book it in, get there by Friday, which we should. We have plenty of time. Sunrise just north of Gualala. When I talk about doing a shakedown delivery sale, that's what I'm talking about. We're cooling down the alternator. It got up to 238 degrees. I smelled something, thank God. Opened that up, and we lowered the RPM. So now we're cruising at about 1200, I think. We're still putting a charge in the batteries, but I'm the regulator temperature sensor at this point. All right. Well, we got good and bad news. So, the good news is this. Bad news is that our engine died, but you know, I'll figure that one out later. Right? Hopefully sooner than later. I don't feel like replacing engine filters right now. How's the fuel filter going?
It's getting filtery. Little by little.
Doing great.
Yeehaw.
I know you can't see it in the distance there, but there's the first motor yacht that I've seen on the whole trip outside of Astoria. We're finally coming into the bay. Let's see how Alma's holding out.
How's it going? Good. Not so. There's also the other outlet on that. I'm thinking of just trying to crack that and see if go until fuel drips out and then shut it again.
I might have had to crack something on the bottom to allow air out. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's already, there's some fuel in the bottom, so air won't come out at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
What about there's like a nut, you know, I'm just gonna try that, because maybe that's what that's for.
We put in a new filter, and within about 2-3 minutes, it was clogged. No kidding. 2 to 3 minutes. So we have 5 more of those. We have 2 more big ones of a different type, and then we have 3 additional inline Yanmar ones that we need that would be in line with those 2. So we're gonna burn through a few of the smaller ones first, and hopefully it'll start running cleaner. So this was used, how long did we use this?
Like 3 minutes? 5 minutes? I don't know.
Maybe. Wait, hold that into the light a little bit. Yeah. That is crazy.
And this is what was in there.
Yeah. So this is what we're doing. So what are we on? Filter number 4? Because we replaced this once. We replaced, and then we had original. So 1, 2, 3. So we're on filter 4, I guess. Is that right? Something like that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
replacement 3.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it.
All right. What a night. I don't even know, my brain's not working fully, so I don't know how much I'll remember, but basically the fuel lines were just clogged to heck. And I mean, if you look at the sludge in the filter, you can see why. It's just like a thick, sludgy slime. We tried running a line directly from a jerry can to the engine. Of course, not realizing that it was the diesel return line. So then we re-rigged it to the proper line. We got that going and it actually worked, which was amazing. Except for, of course, you know, the line in the jerry can wasn't taking from the bottom, so I kind of re-rigged everything there. And we ran it, it worked great. Okay, but it only worked for like 30 minutes with 5 gallons. So that was weird. So it just was kind of like scary because like, damn, we're burning through gas. I'm not exactly sure why, or diesel. Then Alma brought up the fact that, you know, the return line was going into the main tank. And in the meantime, I was out here in the lazarette.
What you up here?
Oh, you know, I'm pumping gas out of our gas tank into these 5-gallon jerry cans, which is our new gas tank.
Sweet.
Very small gas tank.
I mean, to me, this is a safety issue. Running out of fuel, also in light winds with a broken mainsail. I don't know if you can see up there. Yeah, it looks like you can. That that is supposed to be over there. So, and not to mention all the tears in the mainsail, and I think it's reefer 1 and or 2. The jib is bagged out and delaminated so badly that it just flaps even when you know, do a pretty good job of trimming it. The voyage has gone smooth other than the broken mainsail, the broken jib, and the broken engine. But we've been able to fix the engine because then after I rerouted the fuel return line, we think that'll give us 80 to 90 miles depending on the chop. And we think we have maybe 75 to go. But I think we have enough, and we still do have more in the main tank. It just, yeah, just a real painstaking process, but got it done. So yeah, we're gonna make the run. Here we are, Point Reyes. When you look at our entire trip, we are really close to the end there.
Alright guys, we have less than 100 miles to go. We're trying to beat the storm that's coming in later today, and it seems like we've stabilized the engine and the sail situation, but I'm going to cut this video here as we're rounding the bend into San Francisco. I'm definitely not counting my chickens before they hatch though, and I didn't allow myself a chance to breathe until I got closer to the bay. So that'll be next week, and see you guys there. Thanks for watching.